They said she was just a village girl, poor, powerless, forgettable. But they were wrong, because beneath the rags was royalty. Her name? Amarachi. The girl with no mother, a father too silent, and a stepmother sent straight from wickedness. She cried every night, worked every day, until the day fate interrupted her sorrow at a stream where royalty met pain. He was a prince. She was fetching water. He saw a wife. She saw another burden. But this isn't just a love story. It's the fire that forges queens. It's tradition, betrayal, power, and destiny. This is Amarachi, the prince, the pain, and the promise. Let the story begin. In a small village painted with dust and dreams lived a girl named Amarachi. She was beauty, quiet strength, and silent pain wrapped in one. But behind her soft eyes was a story the world didn't know. Not yet. Her mother died when she was only 13. The kind of death that takes more than a woman. It steals a home. Her father remarried a woman with a smile like honey and hands made of thorns. At first, the woman cooked for Amarachi, brushed her hair, called her my daughter. But when the village celebration ended and the last dancer left, she changed. Now Amarachi cooked, cleaned, served. Her hands cracked, her back ached, and each time she opened her mouth to complain, her father looked away, like shame was louder than love. The stepmother, Mama Nena, grew bold. She locked away Amarachi's best rapper, slapped her for chewing too loud, called her mother a witch. And Amarachi? She wept, but only at night. Then one morning, Mama Nena shouted, "Go to the stream and fetch water. Don't return till your legs know pain." It was hot. The sun was unkind. And yet Amarachi walked barefoot, alone. But fate has no timetable. On her way down the narrow bush path, she stumbled into a man, dressed not like a farmer, but a prince. And not just any prince. His name was Prince Clinton, son of the great King Obiz. He had come to the village in disguise, searching for something pure. He didn't expect to find it, carrying a clay pot on her head. Their eyes met. Time paused. Amarachi looked away first, not from shyness, but because she didn't believe men like him saw girls like her. But he saw her, truly, deeply. By evening, Clinton had returned to the palace. He stood tall before his parents and said, "I've found the woman I'll marry." The queen laughed softly. "Which princess?" He smiled. "Not a princess. A girl at the stream." Amarachi's heart raced as she left the stream. She didn't know his name, didn't even look back. But something about him felt divine. She clutched her water pot like a shield. She couldn't afford to dream, not with her stepmother waiting at home, because in that house, love wasn't allowed. Back at the palace, Prince Clinton couldn't sleep. He asked the guards to search. "Find me the girl with the water pot and the woven wrapper," he said. His heart had chosen, and royalty doesn't beg, but this time it was willing to. Meanwhile, the stepmother saw Amarachi smiling for the first time in weeks. She didn't like it. "Happiness doesn't suit you," she hissed. And that night, Amarachi slept hungry. Again. The prince's search led his men to the stream, to the market, to the old hunter who always knew the village gossip. "She lives on the edge of Umuokwe," the hunter said. "Quiet girl. Mother died. Father remarried a snake." Clinton arrived at her compound at dawn. Amarachi was sweeping the dusty yard barefoot. When their eyes met again, her broom dropped. He smiled. "Let me help you carry your burden this time." The village erupted. A prince had come for a poor girl, the elders whispered, the maidens gossiped, and the stepmother, she planned. The king and queen were surprised. "She's not noble, she has no name," the queen protested, but Clinton stood firm. She has more grace than anyone in this palace. The stepmother begged Amarachi's father, marry her off quickly before she embarrasses us. And that week, they forced Amarachi to marry a local palm wine tapper, a man with calloused hands and no words. The wedding was rushed, no music, no joy. Amarachi's tears soaked her white wrapper, and far away, Clinton watched, helpless. He had come too late. But fate isn't always finished when man is, because the man Amarachi married wasn't who they thought he was. The sun had barely touched the hills when Amarachi opened her eyes, but this morning she didn't cry. She sat up slowly, whispered a prayer, and smiled. Because for the first time in years, she had something to hope for. His name was Clinton. Down at the palace, the prince paced. He hadn't stopped thinking about the girl with the clay pot and the storm in her eyes. He told the king and queen everything. But when he mentioned her name, the king's eyes narrowed. Amarachi? That name sounds familiar. Turns out, Amarachi's mother once served the royal household, and when she died mysteriously, some believe she took secrets with her. Clinton didn't care about the past. All he knew was his heart had chosen. But back in the village, the stepmother sensed something. She saw Amarachi glowing, smiling at nothing. And wickedness? It can smell joy from miles away. So she burned Amarachi's only wrapper and forced her to work without rest. That evening, Prince Clinton disguised himself, a simple tunic, no guards. He walked the path to the stream again, hoping. And there she was, feet in the water, eyes on the clouds. He said nothing, just watched, and fell deeper. When she noticed him, she blushed. He offered to carry her pot. She laughed. No prince would do that. He smiled. Then I guess I'm not just a prince. And that was how love quietly began. Days passed. They met in secret, talked like old friends, dreamt like children, fell in love like destiny had planned it. But love is never safe when eyes are watching. And someone was watching. The stepmother saw them one night. She followed Amarachi to the forest path, watched her meet him, heard them laugh, and her heart boiled. If Amarachi marries into royalty, she hissed, who will suffer for me? She acted fast, went to the palace, disguised as a herbalist, told the queen she had a vision, that a poor village girl was trying to seduce the prince with charms. Her name is Amarachi, she lied, and she must be stopped. The queen was troubled. She summoned her son, but Prince Clinton didn't bend. She's no witch. She's the only true soul I've ever met. The queen stared at him and said nothing. Back in the village, rumors spread. Girls whispered. Mothers warned their sons, and Amarachi felt the weight of eyes on her. Still, she didn't stop loving him, because some loves are bigger than shame. Then came the letter, sealed in gold, delivered by a royal guard. Amarachi opened it with trembling hands. It read, "You are summoned. Tomorrow. Palace courtyard." Her heart raced. She arrived in her only remaining wrapper, no makeup, no shoes. But her soul? Pure fire. The queen sat on the throne, Clinton beside her, and the village watched. The queen spoke. "We've heard many things about you." Amarachi said nothing. She just looked at them, calm and full of courage. "I am not here to defend rumors," she said. "I came because truth walks boldly." A hush fell. Even the queen was stunned. Then Clinton stood. "If she is guilty, then so am I. I love her, and I choose her, not for beauty, not for magic, but for her soul." Whispers filled the courtyard. Some elders frowned, but the king rose and laughed. "I once loved a poor girl too," he said, "and look where it brought me." The queen looked away, hiding her tears. The next day, the village shook. The prince's engagement to Amarachi was announced. And the stepmother? She fainted. Because wickedness always thinks it will win, until light exposes it. But the path to love wasn't clear yet. A secret had been buried with Amarachi's mother, one that could either break her or make her the queen the land needed. And that secret was ready to rise. Amarachi went to her mother's grave. She lit a candle, spoke her name, and asked, "What truth did you leave behind?" That night she dreamt of a red bracelet and a sealed letter. She dug beneath the old tree, found a box wrapped in cloth. Inside, a letter from her mother. "My daughter, if you're reading this, it means destiny has found you, and now you must know who you truly are." The letter told everything. Her mother, once the king's first love, but the union was forbidden because Amarachi's mother was a seer, and the queen feared prophecy. So she was banished, pregnant, alone, and Amarachi was born in exile. Amarachi clutched the letter. Tears flowed, but this time they weren't tears of pain. They were release. She wasn't just a village girl. She was the blood of royalty, raised in silence, now rising in truth. She returned to the palace, uninvited, unshaken, handed the king the letter. He read it twice, then whispered, "I loved her, and I failed her." Then he turned to Amarachi and called her daughter. The stepmother's days were numbered. The villagers spoke, the palace listened, and justice? It came quietly. She was exiled, stripped of her gains, and forced to walk the same lonely path she gave Amarachi. Clinton married Amarachi under the sacred Iroko tree. Drums shook the hills. Women ululated, elders danced. She wore her mother's red beads. And when she walked into the palace, the ancestors smiled. She didn't become queen overnight. She studied, learned laws, spoke truth, fell, rose, until the day came when the people no longer called her the village girl. They called her Omalicha Nwanyi, the beautiful one, inside and out. But Amarachi never forgot. She built wells for her old village, schools for girls, safe homes for orphans, because true royalty is not about crowns. It's about compassion. Years passed. Her love with Clinton only deepened. No scandals, no pretenses, just two souls who found each other in the middle of pain and chose joy instead. One Harmattan morning, she sat beside her daughter, braiding her hair. The little girl asked, "Mama, is it true you were once poor?" Amarachi smiled. "Yes, but I was never worthless." So when you hear her name, Amarachi, don't just think of a girl who married a prince. Think of the girl who survived storms and still sang, who rose from ashes and still loved, who was forgotten but became unforgettable. They mocked her tears, laughed at her rags, thought she would break. But Amarachi did not just survive. She rose from a girl they tried to silence, to a queen the land now honors. Because when destiny calls, not even wickedness can block the crown. To every girl watching this, your pain may write your story, but it does not own your ending. This is the power of becoming, the power of Amarachi, the promise fulfilled. If this story touched your heart, like, comment, share. Let someone else believe again. Subscribe for more stories that speak truth, tradition, and triumph.